How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have the Young Hearts with us today, and they can say their names and what they do in the band.
Hey, I'm Craig, and I play guitar and sing in the Young Hearts.
Yeah, hi, I'm Connor. I play guitar in the Young Hearts.
There we go. Well, thank you, Craig and Connor, for coming on. I also want to give a shout outs to James, always sending me some great UK bands, so big salutes to him. And wanted to know, guys, I always am very curious. I'm a huge music nerd. So I love asking this question, but how did you guys kind of start out? What is like the origin story of the Young Hearts? Feel free to spare no expense. I'm curious on how kind of you guys got your journey along and kind of formulated the band together.
So we've been going quite a while now.
Okay.
So we started out. There was me, Stu, our bass player, and a guy called Aaron, who was the original guitarist of the Young Hearts. We were in a band together previously that kind of, when we were younger, sort of very early 20s, it was something that we sort of took really seriously and put a lot of time, effort, money into. And it kind of fell apart one day, but we were kind of not ready to give up on playing music at that point. We were still quite young. So we started a new band with the sole sort of intention of writing like music for ourselves. I think in the last band we were kind of trying to fit into like a trend in a particular scene at the time, that kind of UK pop rock band. And I think we were trying to force ourselves, and it wasn't coming naturally, and we weren't 100% enjoying it. So we just kind of decided to start again, a fresh start, and just write songs that sort of we were truly passionate about. Whether anyone was going to be listening to them, it wasn't sort of really the main thing for us at that point. We just wanted to enjoy playing music again. So that's kind of how the Young Hearts started, and it was a slow start. We eventually sort of went in and recorded the first few tracks, and over the last 10 years we've just kind of been evolving. I think we've really found ourselves with our debut album, The Modern State, which came out in 2021. But at that point, that was kind of mid-COVID, and a whole load of other stuff happened, and we ended up losing half the members of the band. One kind of decided it wasn't for him anymore, and wanted to sort of have a family with his wife, which was we were totally sort of happy about. Like, he's still one of our best friends, so and he's completely happy now where he is, so it's all worked out. And then our drummer, he kind of just found that he didn't have the time or the passion for it anymore, so we were kind of at a loss, and we didn't know whether the band was going to continue. Like, we basically, for a good 2 or 3 weeks, the band was done. Like, it didn't feel right continuing without them two at the time. But like, I think there was still like a spark there, and like I still had like new songs written. And Connor, who has been one of my best friends for years, like has always been a massive supporter of the band anyway. It was kind of a no-brainer because he's a great songwriter, great guitarist, great vocalist. Like, it was just the obvious choice. And I think getting Connor in the band gave us a new lease of life and a new enthusiasm. Again, like, we replaced our drummer with Joe, our current drummer, who again had all the time in the world to just be in a band and play music again. So I think it's really sort of our second era of the Young Hearts has become with this new record, and over the last 2 years.
And Connor, how did you feel about, had you been in prior projects before this point, or like when Craig approached you about like starting the Young Hearts in a new direction, in a new era? What was your kind of thought process on that?
Yeah, I'd always been in sort of local bands, just never really went anywhere, just sort of dopey pop punk, just playing guitar for the fun of it. But obviously, like Craig said, I was just a massive fan of the Young Hearts. I went to as many shows as I could. Like Craig says, we've been best pals for a long time, and yeah, I think it was more me coming to him. I was sort of desperate to get involved, and when I heard that, obviously the Modern State was incredible, and I listened to it a bunch. And when I heard that kind of the band had sort of stopped at that point, I think I was gutted more as a fan more than anything. And sort of approached Craig to say, you know, I was available and not doing anything, and if he had, you know, if it was kind of a side project or something that he was up for, that I would be more than interested in. So when the opportunity, you know, came up to carry on the Young Hearts and to sort of be trusted as part of that and to move that forward, you know, I jumped at it, and yeah, the last couple of years have been awesome, and I'm really proud of the record we've made, and yeah, I think the future looks bright from what was sort of a sort of sad turn of events during COVID. I think, you know, we've pushed onwards since then. So yeah, I couldn't wait to join the band.
There we go. We love to see it. And then, you know, Craig, doing this for as long as you have, and I have a lot of respect for people who, you know, continue to kind of do what they love to do. I will be celebrating like 8 years of doing this, doing YouTube, interviewing musicians, and so like, you know, I think dedicating a lot of time and passion, a lot of effort can, you know, certainly come with its caveats. Certainly, you know, what in terms of obviously adding Connor and adding, you know, your drummer to the Young Hearts now, how much has that kind of like rejuvenated your drive or passion to like want to continue to do it in this new album cycle?
I think it couldn't have made more of a difference, to be honest. Like when you're in a band at our level, it wears you down incredibly to like, it's ridiculous. Like you burn yourself out to an extent.
Sure.
I think we kind of done that with the Modern State. Like as proud as we are of that record, like it was a kind of, the feeling behind it was sort of make or break. Like we were sort of all getting to that age where how long can we sort of continue doing this, and the impact it's having on other aspects of our life, relationship, work, like family, everything like that. But then when we got Connor and Joe involved, we kind of changed our mindset. So it wasn't about like we have to do this, this, and this. We have to be this, and we have to please these people. It was like, no, we've realised now that the most important thing is that we enjoy doing this at our own pace, our own way, not doing it for anyone else. So it just became a lot more fun again, and sort of the way it was when you first start a band. It almost was like a brand new band where you're jamming and you're sending ideas and it's all sort of fresh and exciting. So yeah, it's you can't sort of overestimate like how important that sort of shift was.
Yeah, I also feel like it's easy to kind of neglect the fact that like when you have new members, it kind of shapes the sound and like kind of grows the group more. And so I think for me, I'm curious to go back and listen to like some of the older albums from the Young Hearts, because I only really kind of delved more into the newest release, which is Somewhere Through the Night. Guys can check the links in the description to go check it out. But I really enjoyed that, and I'm always curious on bands' journeys on like how much or how varied their sound is over the years, and you know, I'm curious to see if I can really tell the difference between like new and old in that way. And you know, obviously find new songs that I can kind of grow to love and become attached to. So I'm pretty excited about that. In terms of Somewhere Through the Night, how long of a process did you guys take to kind of write this newest record that's out now? It came out in December, so last month. So you know, how long of a time frame has it been just taking your time and writing that?
It's definitely taken a while, but I think we were determined to sort of take our time with it to make sure that it was the best it possibly could be. So I think some of it was written. Well, I started writing new songs like once we released the Modern State, and the band was still planning to continue at that point. I'd already started writing and demoing new songs, and then when the sort of band came to a kind of hiatus for a little while, I was still writing music. Like I'd never stopped writing music. So that was sort of back in 2021. And then it just kind of went sort of full steam ahead as soon as we'd recruited new members. I think we went in the studio in March 2022.
21, 22. Yeah, it's 24 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a year and a half later, a year and a half of recording, and like we did the album in stages. It wasn't just we like a solid block of 2 weeks. Like we went in, recorded 5 songs, and then went in and kept doing bits to those 5 songs, and then we went in and started recording the next batch of songs. So I think we finally finished actually tracking the album in August last year. So you're looking at nearly 18 months just sort of recording. But so I'm glad we took our time with it and didn't rush to get anything out. So we weren't trying to please anyone. We just wanted to make sure that we were 100% happy with what we were putting out.
Yeah, I think it feels so cohesive, because I was going from I'm a serial album listener, so I love to listen to albums from front to back, and I get the within the first song or two, I kind of just got this idea that this is a type of album you sit down, you listen to it from front to back, and you kind of get the full gambit of it. It's not an album that you could just throw on and just listen to the songs in the background. I do feel like this is a whole album that requires your attention to listen to, and to kind of give it that extra love and attention that, not to say other albums don't do, but there's something specific about the way that I was sitting here at my computer desk and listening to these songs, and kind of getting different emotions or getting different feelings from the album as it kind of progressed storyline wise. And I really enjoyed that. So I'm excited to kind of pick up where I left off and go give the rest of it a listen after this is over with. But I think there's this really kind of real storyline through in the album, but I also feel like musically it just kind of has this beautiful way of just kind of going in this melodic punk direction, but also has some really cool instrumentation going on as well. And I think to me it's just a full package, and I'm excited to kind of get more into it as the album continues on. In terms of people that maybe haven't heard of the Young Hearts before, and this may be the first video that they watch, do you have a song in your catalog that you would recommend to new listeners to kind of give them an idea of what you guys do?
Connor, I'll let you field this one. I don't know if I can pick just one.
Yeah, it's difficult, I suppose. Yeah, thanks for what you said about the album. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
We kind of approached it where nothing was off limits. So we got a wide range of influences, and when we really, like Craig says, we took a lot of time over it. Nothing was off the table, and if we wanted to chuck in some different instrumentation or take songs in a different way, then we definitely pursued that. I think that I'm most proud of the final track on the album, the title track. It really, I guess it's probably the wrong answer to your question, because it doesn't necessarily sum us up as a band. It's more kind of what we were thinking on the album, and kind of where the band could go next.
Sure.
So I suppose, yeah, the album kind of moves through this kind of like you say, it's melodic, but it's kind of moving somewhere, and there are all the kind of different things that we experimented with throughout, and then it kind of leads up to this last track, which I think really sums up us as musicians, I guess, but sort of forward thinking. So that was a terrible answer to your question. Craig, do you have one song?
Yeah, I mean, you got it kind of spot on. The title track of the album is, I think it could sum us up, because it's super poppy, it's super melodic. It's maybe the least sort of punk rock side of of us, but it's kind of it's it shows where we sort of the direction we might head. There's ambition behind it, and you can tell we sort of threw everything to try and make a song as huge as we sort of set out to do. But I think there's other tracks on the album that you could maybe would show our journey, the opening track, Famous Last Words.
Yep.
It's still one of my favorite tracks that we've ever done. It's super catchy. It hits you straight away. Like there's no messing around. It would be a good one to sort of sum us up. But yeah, the title track at the end is it shows sort of where I think we can sort of go, and that there's more to us than just a melodic punk band.
Yeah, I think you kind of, I think you guys summed it up pretty well. I think there's this interesting like crossroad of like, there's some really interesting like pop elements in there that I think kind of threw me for a loop, especially within like the first couple songs on the album, because I listened to Famous Last Words, Take a Ride, The Wave Back, uh, Good Company, and Hit the Ground Running. So about like, I would say maybe like a third or a quarter of the way through the album, and there, like, as the album kind of progresses, you can kind of tell that there was like more influences and like a shift almost within the album, where you're like, okay, they do this sort of like melodic punk stuff, they do this sort of like maybe a little bit like adjacent like alt like pop punk kind of thing that I couldn't really put my like finger on. There was something special about it that I think you guys hit like a specific like gray area in those genres that like I haven't heard in quite a bit. So I think for me that was really special, and I often pride myself on trying to find groups that I feel like are closely aligned to your band, or like bands that I feel like you're influenced by. And it was really hard to kind of like think about what you guys kind of what box you guys fit into, because as the album progresses it becomes a little bit more blurry. I think for me, you gave me a little bit of like Transit vibes, which Transit is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think for me, you guys kind of give me that, maybe less so in the sense that like I feel like they borderline a little bit more in the like math rock, like really twinkly Midwest emo sort of stuff. And I'm like, I don't really feel like they do that, but they do capture that sort of like alternative energy that Transit brought. So I love that. And then I feel like appropriately enough, and right behind Craig, the Gaslight Anthem, that was another group that I feel like to me I was like, they have to be influenced by the Gaslight Anthem. There's no way they're not. Um and then I guess like a wild card, you guys kind of give me a little bit of Frank Turner, a little bit, like, so I feel like, I think you guys kind of encapsulate this really like raw energy that Frank Turner has. So I think to me, those were the types of groups that I would, I would argue are kind of, if you like those three bands, you're gonna love this band. But I do feel like you guys have a very like interesting sound that I hope people really do give a listen to. That's kind of my pitch to everyone watching this, is like, please go check out the Young Hearts. But how close was I, guys? Was I in the ballpark? Where do you feel like I sit at?
Well, I mean, you've made my day with Transit. One of my
Oh,
favorite.
let's go. Let's go.
The Gaslight thing is probably spot on. I think, we've made no secret of the fact we're inspired by them. That kind of them and the Menzingers and that kind of
okay.
sort of that real sort of Americana punk rock sound. But again, the album isn't just limited to that. We really have a range of influences, which hopefully people can hear come through. I mean, we're massive Bruce Springsteen fans. We also channel a bit of the Killers, I think, in some of the sort of attitude, I guess, if not the music. So
I would agree. Yeah.
Craig, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, like all those the bands that you mentioned, like spot on. I think definitely with the sort of the title track, I could definitely hear a little bit of Frank Turner in there with the piano and sort of the sort of swing of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we kind of, both of us, all of us have like just love so much music, whatever genre. Like we listen to so much stuff. All our sort of favorite bands differ, so we're gonna have all these different influences that are gonna be going on whenever we're writing and sort of playing. Little bits of bands are gonna sort of find their way in. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're pretty spot on, I think.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yeah, like there's a lot more going on in there. Like we're huge sort of just rock fans as well, and the big stadium sounds. Like we always wanted to make that kind of, always wanted to be a sort of DIY dive bar punk band, but that could happily sit on like a massive arena stage alongside like a big act, like massive anthemic songs that you could have in either sort of setting.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. Like another band that I think that you guys kind of resonate as well with too. Like a Lower Than Atlantis, rest in peace. I love that band as well. But like I know that they were kind of going into that like sort of like arena rock kind of like big stage kind of sound, and like I think I'm more curious just because the fact that I've got like again maybe a third or a quarter way through the album to see like the latter half and how highly you're speaking on the like latter half of the record because I always figure that albums are like this big journey that you have to take or like that you want to listen to, and obviously there's some bands that you just throw on and you're just listening. It's just like something that kind of like you know just to have listening, but um, I generally got that like right out the gate that I was like, this is one that I really have to like cognitively listen to, really delve into, and I'm very excited for the title track, Somewhere Through the Night. So very stoked. I also saw you guys have vinyl, which you're speaking my love language. I'm a big vinyl head, so I'm gonna have to go grab that as soon as we're done because I listen. I always try to have all the bands that I have on. I always try to have a vinyl in their collection. If they have it, I try to buy it. So I'm gonna go grab it after this. And you guys, if you like vinyl, you can check the links in the description, of course, to go grab it yourselves. But the next question I have for you guys is, who were some of the artists that growing up you listened to that you saw on TV or you saw online, and you're just like, I need to become a musician. Like this is like it ignited that spark in your brain that you needed to become a musician or like start to make music.
I'd say, as Connor mentioned previously, Springsteen. I've literally been listening to since the day I was born. Like no
Wow.
word of a lie. I was born with Springsteen playing in the background. So I was kind of it was always going to be like a big thing for me. So that was constantly on in the car when I was growing up, just in the kitchen. But I think it was probably when I saw or heard Green Day for the first time. That kind of made me realize that I wanted to be in a band. And like they were one of my first live shows. I remember seeing them on the International Super Hits tour when I was like 12 years old. Me and a couple of our friends got driven up by the guy's dad, and we sprayed our hair green and like bought merch that was like 4 times too big. I just had the best time ever, and I think seeing them like in Wembley Arena kind of definitely set a fire underneath me. I was like, I just want to play guitar on in front of people and make sort of loud rock music.
Connor?
Yeah, I'm really fortunate to come from a musical family, not in the sense of like playing instruments, but my parents are both massive record collectors, and I've grown up with, my mum's side, like Bowie and Peter Gabriel and that kind of sort of 70s sort of rock stuff. And then my dad was a punk and ska, and then they both massive 80s pop fans. So I've just all throughout my life had that kind of background. But again, similar to Craig, mine is Blink-182. When I was little, was a massive Boyzone fan. I don't know if you know Boyzone.
Oh my God.
Like an Irish Backstreet Boys. So I was a massive fan of them when I was like 7 years old. And then I heard Damn It by Blink-182. And I just heard the CD, and I just pictured them singing that song, but sitting on stools in suits with microphones, like I imagine like boy bands would do. So it was only later I realized they were playing guitars, and I was like, well, I want to play guitar. I want to do that. So that was the moment where I was like, I'm definitely going to play guitar. So yeah, Blink-182, Green Day.
And now they like, they had that one music video where they like ran around naked, that
Yeah.
was the so I feel like you're in for a treat either way, Connor.
No suits there.
No suits there, yeah. Unless you're talking about a birthday suit, then they
Yeah.
definitely had those. But yeah, I think very similarly, like my parents grew me up on like classic rock and stuff, so I always have a love for like those groups. And I don't think I listened to a lot of Springsteen, which is funnily enough, like I'm from New Jersey, which is where Bruce Springsteen is from originally. So I don't know why we just never got around to listening to it. So maybe it's just a loss on me. Maybe I'll have to go back and listen to some Bruce Springsteen. Obviously, I know a lot of like his hit music, but I'll have to go find some Americana like hidden gems that he's gotten. Um, but then yeah, I moved into like the like Fall Out Boy, Green Day, Blink-182, like anybody, some 41, like all of these like massive like pop punk bands at the time. So um, love to see that they still have that like profound influence on people of that time. So big ups to them. But the next question I have for you guys, keeping it more current, what are you guys jamming now? What's some groups you're listening to, some bands you're listening to right now?
I've been listening to a lot of one of my favorite albums last year was by Military Gun. I don't know if you've
Oh
heard them.
yes, they're awesome.
I've been listening to a lot of that recently. Listened to a lot of The National.
Nice.
They released 2 albums last year, so that was enough to sort of keep me going for a little while. Yeah, and obviously the Menzingers had a new album last year, which is incredible. Gaslight Anthem had a new record. So yeah, 2023 was a pretty good year for music.
Connor?
Yeah, and I kind of recently, it kind of passes me by, and then you get to December and all the kind of best of lists come out. So I just kind of discovered stuff that I sort of missed. So the Heart Attack Man album, I'm really digging that.
Okay.
And a band called Well Kept Things, who are kind of that similar sort of Hot Mulligan, emo pop punk adjacent kind of band. So yeah, both had releases last year that I missed that I've just been playing nonstop thanks to seeing them on Reddit.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna have to go to Reddit for some gems. Like I feel like my Spotify now gets me, so I'll get like some new bands that I'm like really stoked on, or conversely, I'll get a good email, and a lot of the people that I talk to are like, you need to check this group out, and so I know James was really pushing for the Young Hearts, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to check this out, and you nailed it, James. So give you another salutes. Love it. But the next question I have for you guys is, if you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Well, we do play a few covers.
Okay.
I've said already. We just kind of tend to play songs that we love, and it doesn't really matter if anyone knows them. So we've been playing Left of the Dial by The Replacements for the last couple of years, because we all love The Replacements, and that song's amazing. It's also really fun to play live. We've covered The Killers, When We Were Young. Another classic. And we've recently been doing No Surrender by Springsteen, which is another absolute jam. But
okay,
yeah, I can't think of. I think another one. We'll be doing another cover, sticking another one in the set soon, possibly by The Clash. We're just kind of deciding which one to do.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Connor?
Yeah, we yeah, we've been. It's funny. It's a good question because this is a conversation we've been having internally.
Now it's time to get your grievances out. Now you might as well.
No, yeah, I definitely think something by The Clash. That kind of with just that so many awesome tracks to choose that we're debating which one. I think.
There we go. Well, I think you guys have made your voice heard. And if you do like the Young Hearts and you do live in the UK or Europe, in the greater Europe area, and you happen to see them live, let them know down in the comments what song you would love to hear them cover, whether it is a Clash song or not. I mean, I feel like that's certainly one that's been lined up for you. So if you got a good Clash song and you want to hear them play it, let them know. But if you also have another great suggestion, drop it down in the comments. Let them know what you would love to hear from them. So, but the next question I have for you guys is another fun one. What is your favorite food to eat?
Mexican food, all the different kinds of it.
Okay.
Nachos, fajitas, burritos. Yeah, I'm here for all of it.
Respect. Okay.
Yeah. Again, big Mexican food. Also, just really like sandwiches. So, most sandwiches, anything that
Okay.
you can put into 2 slices of bread, I think that does make things a lot better. But yeah,
Do you have
Mexican.
Do you have a go-to sandwich, Craig?
No, not
Perfect
really.
sandwich? No.
No. Anything. I like a lot of sandwiches. Depends on the day or the week. But yeah, just a bit of a mix. Some sort of like meat, cheese, salad, sauce, and then the bread. Good bread.
Go. Good bread. Yeah, of course. I respect that. I'm just curious because like that. I think you might be the first person like in the UK that has said like sandwich. Like everyone says like the atypical like whatever whatever like UK meal like. They just said they just say like the most thing that you would expect American to understand. And I'm just like, bro, just tell me like what you like to eat. Like, I'm sure they make other food than just like UK like beans or like I don't know, other shit. Like I know what other cultures make. Yeah.
I like
So,
food, so
hey, listen.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with a sandwich any time of day.
When you guys come to the States, we'll go out and we'll have a Philly cheesesteak. I don't know if you guys have had one of those or not.
We will hold you to that.
Hey, listen, I'll do it. You can send me this clip of this video, and you said, "Hey, Brandon, listen, you said this. Insert years here. We got to get a cheesesteak," and I'll be like, "I got you. Let's do it." So hold me
Sounds
to it,
great.
guys. Hold me to it, guys. I got you. But the next question I have for you is if you guys could have a dream collaboration on an up and coming song from the Young Hearts, who would you love to have on? The question is actually going to get split into 2 answers. The first part of the answer is one that's a little bit more feasible, one that you feel like you've wanted to ask this person to be featured on a track, but now is the time to call them out, so you can let them know. And the second one is the manifestation, the one that we're putting the good juju, the good energy towards, because we want to see it happen.
Oh, I know who I'd have as like the never gonna happen one.
You never know,
Who would be that's more feasible? Anyone you know, Connor?
Well, I was just saying, our manager went on tour with a band who supported Laura Jane Grace, so 5 Degrees of Separation. We might be able to get her on a track. That'd be rad.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's a smart move. Okay.
But the all-time one, I mean, yeah, we've talked about half of them already, I think.
Yeah, I think if I was going to have someone sing on a Young Hearts track, I've said this before, the dream would probably be someone like Stevie Nicks. Probably my favourite female vocalist of all time. I know that chances are 1 in a billion, but yeah, if I could have someone sing on a Young Hearts track, it would be Stevie Nicks.
I'm digging it. Is that your more feasible? I assume that's not your more feasible option.
Yeah, that would be the long shot.
Well, listen, we're gonna make that long shot a little shorter, guys. Listen, I need you to go follow the Young Hearts. If you haven't done that already, you need to do that first. That is like priority number 1. Then number 2 is that I need you to tag the Young Hearts. I need you to tag Laura Grace Jane, and I also need you to tag Stevie Nicks, and then type the word collab ? And then just send it. Just full send it out there. I have good faith that that'll happen. So I'm putting all my good aura towards it. So just let's rock. I think that would be so sick. you know,
Just
and
make it
then
happen.
listen, then you'll say that you have been a part of this, you know. If it happens, then you're good, you know. So that's how I view it. So let's do it, guys. But the next question I have for you is, if there was a song that you wish that you wrote, what song would it be?
Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen.
That's a great one. Okay. Connor, what do you got?
That's a great question. I don't know that I have an answer.
Oh,
Wow, stumped me there.
I'll give you a moment to think about it. I feel like that's a tough question.
Yeah, give me a second.
I feel like Craig was like, right as soon as I could finish my sentence, he was
ready
like
to go.
already knew, like he was good.
Yeah, it's a song. Thunder Road is a song that I will listen to at least once or twice a week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. There's different live versions and different interpretations of it that Springsteen's done over the years. So it's just an incredible, beautiful song. So yeah, I wish I'd written that one.
I'll put on the spot. I think perhaps something by the Smiths, "The Boy with a Thorn in His Side." I think probably my favorite of theirs. Yeah, despite what we think of Morrissey now, I think that band is untouchable, and that's one of their just everything about that song, the words, the music is fantastic, and Jeff Buckley's cover is incredible as well. So
yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that is true. Great answers. I haven't had I don't think I've had a Smith's pick ever, so we'll love to see it. The next
sandwiches and the Smiths.
Sandwiches and Smiths. You guys are really two S's. You guys are changing the game for me. You know, it only took me 8 years, but it's all right. We're good. The next question I have for you guys is, if you were to compile a dream tour lineup, including the Young Hearts, who would be on this tour?
I feel like we're just saying the same bands over there. But yeah, how many can we have?
We'll do 4, including you, so 5 total.
Oh man!
Unless you want to go home early, then you can do.
Nah. So we'll open up, and then we'll have. I think I'd love to, like, the Menzingers are an incredible band. They also seem like super down to earth, really cool guys. I think definitely have the Menzingers on the bill somewhere.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Sam Fender. I don't know if you know of him.
Okay.
Yeah, English singer-songwriter. He's rad, and I think he'd fit the bill definitely.
Yeah, I think he really likes football and Nuki Brown Ale, so we definitely get on well.
Yeah, we'd get along.
That's what you need.
Yeah. And then headliner, say the Killers.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Like, we saw them a couple of years ago, and as a live band, they are just untouchable. So good. They'd make great header. We're going to see them again later this year.
Oh, nice.
In the summer. So yeah. How many bands is that?
We're at 3. So you have one more.
Yeah, you can pick one more, can't you?
It'd have to be Gaslamp, right?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be.
Craig's not going to say no. I don't think.
No.
You're not going to get any fight out of Craig on that one. He's just going to be like, yeah, okay, I guess if you want, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite bands. Oh, my God. That's great. That's a great lineup. I'm curious. I'm also curious if Gaslight has ever played with the Killers. I don't think so.
They did one show, I think, in England. Yeah. So the Killers on their Battleborn tour played Wembley Stadium in 2013. Ooh. And Gaslight opened for them there. I don't know if they've ever done anything in America together.
Not that.
But yeah, I know they did that show because I went to see Springsteen at Wembley Stadium the week before, and I couldn't afford tickets to both shows. So because I'd never seen Springsteen before, I went for Springsteen. But the following Saturday, Gaslight were opening for the Killers, and that is one show I will forever regret not being able to go to.
That's rough.
Yeah.
My bucket list is to see a show at Wembley Arena. I have not, so that obviously living in the States, that's like a iconic venue. So I'm hoping
Well,
one day.
if we call upon your listeners and the rest of the world to make us this huge band,
Hey, listen, that'd be sick.
and we play Wembley Arena, we'll put you on the guest list.
Oh yes, let's go.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Listen, I'll fly out to Wembley. Let's do it. That'd be amazing. Sounds like quite a journey. You guys just have to buy all the vinyl, you know, so just do that and then just follow them on Spotify, which I've already done. So go do all that shit and we'll be good. But the next question I have for you guys is favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Wow.
Wow,
This
all
is
the big questions.
I'm gonna start like making a list of like,
You
because
should.
every time
You should.
every time someone asks me like what my favorite film is, like I cannot remember. I know I have a favorite film, but
It's being on the spot too, I think, doesn't help.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I got you.
I think favorite TV show is probably The Wire.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Great answer.
Great answer.
Favorite film. I mean, probably Home Alone.
Okay. I need some explanation from this, Craig. Okay.
Oh, because it's just genius. Like, I can watch. I will watch that every single Christmas time, and laugh out loud throughout the film. Like, doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. I'll mouth along all the words and the lines from the movie.
Wow.
I will literally. Me and Connor will message each other with gifs of Home Alone.
That's amazing.
It's genius. It's genius. So yeah, there's all these incredible blockbuster films, but I will always go back to Home Alone. Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay. Respect. I like that. Connor, what about you?
TV, I guess, like the kind of sort of serious, really cool answer is first series of True Detective.
Ooh.
But my actual answer is Always Sunny.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Can't get enough of that. I guess film. Not really a film guy. I do like Zodiac and Fight Club, David Fincher films. So yeah, probably Zodiac. I could just put that. If it's on and I catch it, I have to watch the rest of it. Even though it's like 4.5 hours long or something, but yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool. I like that. I'm about it. I'm still stuck up on why Craig said Home Alone. I
would have said Home Alone if Craig didn't, to be fair. So.
I feel like I have to go watch it again. Like I don't know if I don't really feel like I had the strong convictions to just say like Home Alone is like my favorite movie of all time. But I feel like if Craig's putting it on the line here, I mean like. Because, like, I would imagine if you pick a favorite movie, it's, like, something you put on at any time of the year, no matter what. It's just a movie that, like, just resonates with you. So maybe Craig's just, like a holidays type guy, you know? Maybe he's, like, really sentimental about the holidays, you know?
Yeah, I'm super, like, Christmas guy. I love Christmas.
Ah, okay. So there we go. That's checking out.
It's also just a great movie.
It's also hilarious. A great movie. Yeah, true. It's got the McCulkin on it, so I love it. But oh man, yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that. I'll get back to you, Craig. I'll message the Instagram.
Yeah.
But the next question, guys, if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you to listen to, what record would it be? It's a month. I feel like that's a little more convenient.
One record. That is so hard. That is so hard.
It's not a Home Alone.
What
the
time
Home Alone
of year?
soundtrack.
If it's Christmas time.
Yeah, no, it's whatever. I guess it doesn't. There's no seasonality to it.
I'd say if I'm on a desert island, it's probably going to be really sunny. So I'm going to say Paul Simon's Graceland because that album always makes me really happy. Ooh. It's super upbeat. It's super summery. Yeah, absolutely love that. So I could quite happily just sit on the beach for a month, going for a little swim with like diamonds on the sole of his shoes playing in the background. Yeah, that's for me.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Smart move, Connor.
If I'm on a desert island for a month, it's probably gonna be super boring. Probably gonna be pretty bummed out. Probably In Rainbows by Radiohead, because it's got a whole bunch
Oh,
of,
okay.
and it's one of those albums that you could listen to it 100 times and you would still hear different stuff and new stuff you hadn't heard before. So if that's all I have to occupy my time, then I think by the end of the month I'd be over it, but I wouldn't be as over it as quickly as some other albums, I think.
The duality of man. I feel like you guys gave like the complete opposite end. Connor's like, I'm gonna be so depressed by the time this is over. Then Craig's gonna be like, yeah, I could stay on here for another month, man. This is sick.
Yeah, just have a little paddle. I'll build my whole shelter
Yeah,
with like
yeah. You'll
palm
be
trees
like,
and everything.
yeah, you'll be
I
like,
got Wilson sat in the
yeah,
corner.
you're gonna be like Tom Hanks and Castaway. Love to see it. Oh my god. The last question, guys, which is the question that I ask at the end of all of my interviews. If you guys have not checked out the Young Hearts, stay tuned. They're gonna tell you where they can find you at and all that sort of stuff. But wanted to know why you guys are passionate about doing this. I think oftentimes when I have guests on, I'm often just amused by how bands start out, all of this sort of stuff. And as I mentioned before, I'm a huge band nerd, so I feel like that falls well into the things that I love about musicians. But I often try to find why people love to do it, because it's such a difficult thing. You spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of money, you spend a lot of effort. Like, there's people probably think you're crazy to some degree, which, I mean, hey, probably are a little bit. Everybody is. But I wanted to know why you guys continue to press on, and what kind of fuels your passion to continue to do it.
I think it's a number of things. I think obviously we are huge music fans ourselves. Without even just playing music, we are constantly on the lookout for new music to listen to, going out buying records, going and watching bands, spending a ton of money on tickets and travel up to London to go and see artists. So every time we do that, we feel inspired and want to make music ourselves. And I think another a big aspect for me is that it takes me back to my youth, and constantly reminds me of that feeling of being a sort of teenager and jamming in a garage with like my best pals, and sort of striving towards that dream, like never giving up on something, no matter how radical, and the possibility of it's probably never going to happen, but just that sort of chasing the dream is a big part of your life. And yeah, it just reminds me of my youth and growing up.
Connor?
Yeah, I agree with what Craig said, and really don't really know how to do anything else. I've been doing this anyway, playing guitar since I was 9, writing stupid songs since I was like 13, playing shows since I was 15. It's just being lucky enough to be in a position where in our early 30s, we can still do all of that stuff at a level where people seem to enjoy it. And we'd be doing it anyway, basically. And I can't see a time when we won't be doing it. So it's something we love doing. So
I agree. It's as someone also in their early 30s, I think it also makes me reflect on, like, your passion will never die out. It just kind of, like, I feel like if anything, it probably grows a little bit more as you get older. Like, the things that you enjoy doing, like, you kind of want to hang on to them more. You want to appreciate them, because I think doing something for as long as you guys have been doing it for, which I got to give you guys a lot of kudos and respect for continuing to do it, and making music, because I think it's such a crucial aspect to my life. And so I feel like, to me, anytime that I have the opportunity to have groups on that have been doing it for an extended period of time, like, I think I think I have a lot of respect and admiration for what you guys do, because it's you know, I feel like year over year you could be discouraged by like, oh, well, my numbers aren't this or like blah blah blah. But um, I like the fact that you guys are just continually about doing it and you just want to see where the road takes you. And obviously, if people come to listen to your music, that is like such a big plus. But like you guys are doing it because you enjoy doing it and you take the time out of your day to write because you want other people to be able to either feel how you were in a certain position or like maybe find solace in what you write. And so it's really cool to see that. And I hope everybody goes and gives Somewhere Through the Night a listen as much as I've given it a listen because I've really enjoyed it. And I feel like people that watch this, I would hopefully find that they would enjoy it as well. So please tell people where they can find the Young Hearts at, what you guys have coming up in the new year, and anything else you'd like to plug about your band.
Well, yeah, just go and check out our latest record, Somewhere Through the Night, on Year of the Rat Records. It's available everywhere you can get music, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. We also have vinyl up on our Shopify, which you can find the little link on our Spotify page. We've got vinyl and CDs and stuff. Follow us on Instagram. It's probably our most used form of social media, which is at the Young Hearts Official. We're also on Facebook and X or Twitter. We'll just call it Twitter.
That's what it
but yeah,
is.
we've got it is whatever people say. It's still Twitter. We've got a few UK dates lined up in February, and then we're heading out to Germany for a couple of weeks in March, and then yeah, we're just looking to play as many shows as we can. So we really want to play America, and we've had a lot of people telling us to come over there, but we need someone to make it happen. So if there's a tour going that can put 430 something punks up for a couple of weeks, and give us a message, and we'll be happy to come and try your sandwiches.
Love to see it. Well, you guys are always welcome here when you come through. So big salutes. James, listen, I'm telling you, get them over to the States. I don't ask for a lot from you, but this is what I'm gonna ask for this year. This is my request. Have them come over here to the States. I don't know what you have to do, but I know you're good. So like let's make it happen. That'd be really sick. If you guys have not checked out the Young Hearts and you have not watched this video all the way through, which I mean, if you're at the end, you've watched the whole thing. So please go check out their new album, Somewhere Through the Night. It is fantastic. I'm so excited to get through the rest of it and let them know what I think about it. Because I think for me, just to start out, I was super stoked about it. And I feel like the energy is going to continue to go in a really great direction. So please go show it some love. If you like vinyl like me, go grab it on vinyl. Definitely stoked to pick that up. And all applicable links will be down in the description. If you enjoy this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It does go a long way. And huge thanks to both Craig and Connor for coming on today and chatting with me.
Thanks very much for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.